Hey guys, Baby Smooth here. Josh Strife Hayes made another video about our favorite game, so I'm just going to take a few moments to react to it, I guess. Um, he has a lot of hot takes, right? He has a lot of hot takes for a guy that hasn't played the game that much, and it almost implies that these things are kind of issues that are right in your face. Stuff that we've been talking about for years. So if I'm rambling a bit, sorry, it's because I'm passionate about the game. I believe in its future, but I don't believe that DECA believes in its future. I don't believe DECA is taking the steps necessary to invest in its future because it's obvious that they're not. Anyway, let's get into the video.
They say they've helped many new players through the first few confusing hours. This highlights an extremely important issue and is one of the main reasons I'm so critical of the opening experience in any MMO game.
The opening experience is what is going to make you decide if you're going to stick around or leave. Like, think about, a show that you're watching. You're watching an anime for the first time or something. You are deciding if you're going to watch the rest of it in that first episode. So Realm's first episode, what happens? Nothing. It's a shitty tutorial, and then you just go die a lot, and you're lost. You don't stick around for the rest of the series. You leave.
There are many free MMORPGs, and if your opening experience isn't both smooth and excited to have a new player, then the new player will simply uninstall and try another game.
Imagine if you just played Realm for the first time. Are you sticking around? No. Fuck no.
Game does not have a tailored experience to help inexperienced players enjoy it, you will lose those new players within the first few hours. New players don't want to fight through a confusing opening. The fun bit of any game shouldn't be a reward for struggling through the initiation of the opening. What you tend to find is, as an MMORPG ages, the developers focus exclusively on the higher level players because they are the players who spend the most money. So the majority of content releases aimed at them. This can be a very paradoxical design leading to player-based decline. You want to release content aimed at your paying players, but you don't constantly bring new people in that way.
So one of, mine, probably Sepchief's, everybody's frustrations, any content creator for this game, any player of this game, over time we realized that, hey, DECA does not want new players that much. They kind of just want to milk the people that still play the game. I mean, you can see it in every decision that's made. When's the last time something was made to adjust the new player experience? And we're not talking about, reworking Snake Pit or giving new music to Abyss. No, that's not even the new player experience. As a new player, are you even going to make it to a Snake Pit? No, you don't even know how to teleport. You're just running around killing Hobbit mages. There needs to be a Realm rework, and there needs to be just a system in place that incentivizes new players to play the game.
If you do that, you start the ticking time bomb of the dying MMO. There must be a balance of new player-focused design and veteran player reward. Without both, an MMO will eventually die. When a developer sees a graph like this, they want to focus on monetizing the remaining players, and the new player experience gets neglected because new players don't bring in as much money as already experienced players do.
That's facts, right? That's facts. But it hurts to know that they don't care about the future of the game, and that they're not investing in the future of the game, right? Show me investment in the future of the game, and don't show me investment in ways to make more money from the game. Somebody in my chat once brought up that all of the changes they have made have been ways to make more money, and it really clicked. At first I was like, no, that's not true. They made a new bazaar. And I said, wait a minute, the bazaar's to make money. And then I said, no, that's not true. They just, made it way easier to access the shop. And well, that one speaks for itself. Think of every change that's been made in the past year or so. And I think it's just very telling where their thoughts lie on it.
Purely financial point of view, it makes sense in the short term to invest in your current player base. Retention becomes more important than advertising or onboarding, but in the long term, this leads to the dying game supported by a handful of whales.
And that's exactly where we are right now. This man he's talking general things about MMOs, and they are so applicable to Realm right now. He's spitting straight facts after, touching the game for 20 hours or less. And part of that is because he's a genius. He's a smart man. The other part is Deca doesn't hide it, right? They don't hide that this game is not being invested in for its future, and that hurts, I think. I don't know. There's always that brief moment where Deca's like, "Wait, we're losing him. We have to try. Let's bait him a little. Let's bait him." And then they'll come out with, "Hey, we made a Kinsei. Come back and play the game." Or they'll be like, "Hey, we're losing them. We've got some new stuff for you guys. We've got enchanting." Well, we don't talk about enchanting. We've got seasons. There's seasons now. And we're like, "Oh, could we have PPE mode? Could we get PPE mode?" And they're like, "No, that wouldn't make us money." What if seasons are tied to money? What if you have to pay $10 to participate in the season? What if there's any financial tie between seasons and money? We jump ship. Everybody just flip shit. Everybody just burn it down. Burn it down at that point. If seasons are financial at all, and it's not Deca saying, "Hey, we're interested in investing in this game," burn it down, boys. Maybe.
Players with hundreds or even thousands of hours ask, where are all the new players? The answer is usually they are playing a game with a better onboarding process. Side note, while writing this script and standing in the Nexus chatting to some people, the player codex, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, showed me a hidden path to player to mechanics or keywords with a 1% drop rate of legendary items, drop rates found through a developer post, which could simply be lost on death.
I wonder if that's even accurate. I always make the joke, look at all these wasted pixels in the shop. Just due to the fact that, it tells you can get more, you can get like 2 keys, you can get 3 keys, you can get 4 keys per purchase. You always get 1, man. Sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 3. Everybody's got a buddy that hit 50 once, but it's always 1. Like, can we have better rates for our gambling? It's just pixels anyway for you guys. Can we get some better rates, maybe some better returns for our money, and that people won't feel as bad about spending them? I think this goes for everything. I think it goes for vault chests, for character unlockers, for just anything in the game. Can we get more return for the money we put in? Realm is a rich man's game. I've said it before, and it stands to this day. Realm is a rich man's game. If you don't have money, you're going to be left out in some way or another.
Player would spend a great deal of money to find these high-end items, equip them, die, and then lose them all. So lockboxes and ability-enhancing items aren't consistent pay-to-win. They are temporary pay-for-advantage. So the joke line of losing items is a mechanism. The journal tells me I can get eggs from bosses, and pets, according to the player base, are one of the most pay-to-win systems.
Pets are the most important way to progress in this game, and they have no place in the tutorial. Nobody's going to read the journal. I didn't even know there was a journal. I have 1 million hours in this game. I didn't know there was a fucking journal. Does anybody look at the journal? What is the journal? How do you even get to the journal? What the fuck? Yeah, where's pets, man? I'm tired of, explaining how convoluted pets are, too. Right? When a new player comes to my stream, it happens, once a day just about. And they're like, "Hey, man, can you help me figure this shit out?" I'm like, "Yeah, so you need to find some eggs." And we usually get people in stream to give them eggs. And then we have to explain that you want heal and magic heal, and you want those to be the first 2 abilities. And we explain the 3rd ability, it doesn't really matter. Blah, 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 blah. I think the whole pet system, it just needs to be looked at, but if it isn't looked at, it needs to be explained in the tutorial. The pet is the only form of lasting progress in this game, aside from vaulting items for new players. They're not getting exalts. The pet is the only form of lasting progress. And it's very important. So, where is that shit?
You can buy ambrosia in the cash shop, an item used to feed your pet. Pet food has a feed power level, higher costs more. You can also feed your pet items that you've picked up in the game. While googling about pets, I discover the Grand Bazaar, and while I may have felt I was harsh to the floor space dedicated to the cash shop in the Nexus, this in the Grand to them from the start, or indeed having them in the tutorial, such as a weak pet to follow you around, would let the new players enjoy a newer, more fleshed out system and see it grow as they grow. But
Yeah, why at this point just give us a pet from the tutorial that has like one stat, right? Give us a pet that has heal. And then be like, okay, go find a stronger pet. But your pet will start with like level 15 heal or something. I think that would be a decent way to do it. It would be a decent way to show people these are pets. This is important. It's going to keep you alive. Here you go.
After the video, many Realm players reached out to me pointing out my mistakes and offering to help fix them. I know we usually see the aggressive or angry side of any MMO community, but the majority of players genuinely do want to help. It is also deeply...
Good job, guys. I'm proud of you. No cap. Good job. I mean, I always try to set a vibe of, you know, hey, we're here to help people. We're here to reach out to people, because sometimes it really feels like we are the ones that are promoting the game more than Deca does. Like, we are the ones who care about the game's success more than Deca does. Like with new players, with, you know, anytime a big streamer comes around, there's a bunch of people trying to help them. We know that any exposure the game gets from the outside is new potential players. And we like that. Most of us, you know, there's some people who'll be like, El Bozo, get out of here. If you haven't played Realm for 10 years, get the fuck out of here. That's cringe. The game needs new players to live. If it doesn't get new players, it dies. Your favorite game dies. Always be nice to new players, especially, you know, people who have 400k YouTube subs that can show off this game, even if it's showing off why the game is bad.
Ironic that if the developers of Realm of the Mad God had put half as much effort into keeping new players as the Realm of the Mad God community have put into offering to help me understand it better, it would probably have the best new player experience in any MMO.
That's what I'm saying. I just said that. I like this guy.
First MMO ever series is indeed a provocative title designed to generate an emotional response, but I don't want it to be clickbait. I want to set up a question and then answer it fairly.
It is.
If the game begins at 20, which many people have told me it does, which itself is temporary, and the new player experience of reaching 20 is this repetitive, it's...
Did he just say the game begins at 20? Should we tell him about stat pots and exalts? Should we tell him about how you have to be 8-8 to make progress on exalts? No, we guys, don't tell him. No, guys, please don't tell him. The game will appear even shittier in his eyes, because it is shitty. Why the fuck do you have to put 8 hours into your character before you can start making progress on it, before you can go to these endgame dungeons? Okay, yeah, I know it's endgame dungeons. How many fucking snake pits can one man do in his lifetime, dude? I'm at about, 3,000 career snake pits? I don't care about snake pit anymore. I don't want to have to do that again. I don't want to hit 8-8 again. Nobody gets their Willy Wonka off to having to hit 8-8 again in 2022. That is the starting point of the game. It used to be impressive. I say this all the time. It used to be impressive to be 8-8. Now it's literally a starting point. Just start us at 8-8, or just make it quicker to max up. This guy doesn't even know about stat pots that much. But hitting level 20, that's a chore too. An easier chore for most people than getting 8-8, but God, it's ridiculous. Think about it.
It's honestly no wonder the game is struggling to hold new players. This is also where things like the max level potion for 500 Realm Gold coins exist. The developers know that you want to skip this bit. They know you would be willing to pay money to not do this.
Because it's so fucking boring hitting level 20. Unless you just go to orcs. But you don't know that if you're new.
Codex shows up again and runs me through an undead lair, boosting me to level 19 quite quickly. It seems one of the only viable ways to play the game is to know someone who already plays the game. A true solo player, a new player, one not wishing to spend money, would really struggle to get on the leveling ladder. I find a couple of eggs during my playthrough, I hatch them and get a pet dreidel, feed it some of the mini-boss icons I've found. Feeding costs fame, it seems. I get another egg, a muddy tide chaser, and this one has heal and magic heal, the two things I've been told to look out for. Pets, on the other hand, do last through death. This means if you spend real money to buy Realm Gold and then purchase a legendary egg and get a very good pet and then spend more real money to feed that pet, you are buying yourself a permanent buff on every character you play as.
You know, guys, you know what's even worse than the fact that you can buy a legendary egg? The fact that you could get a legendary egg that has like Rising Fury, Attack Far, and Electric. Now, I think I've heard that like every pet has to have heal now, but I don't think that's true. Imagine you spent $30 to get a legendary egg because you're a noob, and it has some really shit. That's garbage. It's now in the garbage, and you can say, "Baby Smooth, you need that to get to Divine." So what? The guy now has to spend another $30 to hope, and what if that one's garbage too? That's terrible. They rip to anybody who ever does that.
Now, I know some people are going to say, that's not pay to win, because you can get the eggs through enemy drops, and you can get all the items in the game, and while yes, you can, there is a distinct advantage that a player spending thousands of dollars will have over a player not doing that.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they say the game's not pay to win, they say, I got my Divine Pet for free. Do you realize that the time it's taking you to do that is much longer than the time it takes for somebody to buy it? Therefore, it's pay to win. You are paying to make progress much faster. Like, a lot of people forget about that.
It means a massive amount of content you're expecting new players to prioritize, like bounties and open world exploration, is actually not that important. The reason many players are standing around waiting for content to happen to them is because they know that's the only content actually worth doing. If you actively go off to try and find adventure the way the game encourages you to play, you're actually playing extremely inefficiently.
Guys, I think this guy would be a great beach sitter. He could really go AFK choofing. How many times am I streaming and I'm just sitting on the beach waiting for a realm to close for 03? I'll give you a hint, it's every fucking time. There's no incentive to close realms because it's so boring. And you have a billion trillion chance to get a white bag. It never happens. It happens every now and then. Oh, Baby Smooth, I got an Ogmer yesterday. Great. How many times did you not get an Ogmer? I don't know. You need to find a way to incentivize clearing realms, but it also needs to be more fun and more rewarding.
Mechanical gameplay moment to moment is fine, but the monetization is becoming more and more pushed.
Yeah, monetization being pushed, I think, turns a lot of people off. And I think, man, what the fuck did they do with Crystals of Fortune? What did they do with the crystals? Everyone's like, why did you do that? Like, it was already a shitty system, and it just got shittier. What the fuck? And now stuff takes way more crystals. If you remember back when they did that crow experiment around Halloween, they had this crow for like 5 stacks instead of 4, right? And I was like, fuck. They're testing us. They're limit testing. They're seeing if people are going to buy this. And you know what happened? People bought it. And now we have skins that are 7. We have skins that are 7 stacks of Crystals of Fortune. Wow. Now, it's great that we can buy it straight up now for, 3,600, maybe sometimes it's 4,200 gold. But we're progressing in the wrong direction. We are very much being milked as the remaining players. Can we have a call to action to actually create this new player system, this new player experience, so that people that try the game by accident, or they see a streamer like Lyric or something he played one day with, 1,000 views, 7,000 views, they play for 10 minutes, they leave, they never come back. Every single day that goes by without a new player experience update is a day wasted for the game. It's a day that Deca is not believing in their game. Whoever is programming for this game, if you care about your job on this game, if you care about this game in general, just do it. Just do it. Upload it secretly. Don't tell Deca you did it. I'll keep the secret. Nobody will tell them. Just make the game good for new players and it will flourish. If you look at how many people stick around this game, regardless of, it being shit to us all the time, I think you're gonna see that, like, you have something on your hands here that could really succeed. You have a game here that so many people care about, despite being neglected for forever. Literally forever, I feel like we're neglected. I mean, we get updates every now and then, but, like, how much money do we give Deca just to get nothing back, really? Think about it.
Now, the players themselves are extremely welcoming. The issue seems to lie with the development company. Current players care more about a new player's experience than the developers seem to. Because
is this guy in my head? I don't know. How does he get it this quick? How does he know this fast? Is it almost like it's obvious? The current people that play the game care about it more than the company that makes money from it.
Current players know how lacking the new player experience is. I think the development team are banking on the current player base adopting new players and giving them the guidance that a well-designed in-game hidden tutorial should have given them.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of tired of helping new players. I'm kind of tired of being the only way that people can learn the game. I'm kind of tired of, just telling people the same thing over and over about these pets, about what to do in the game, how to max, how to do any of these important features. I'm so afraid that people are going to try this game and leave without ever seeing anything this game has to offer. That scares me. And it happens every day.
Developers seem to have offloaded the responsibility for bringing new players into the game to the current player base. There were many players giving me items as well, but that also killed the point of the game. Why give me stuff to skip the boring bit if the boring bit is the bit you're making new players experience again and again? And you have systems that are indifferent to their presence there, they will leave.
Can we talk a second about how calendar rewards have just completely gone to shit? Back in my day, you used to get a vault per month. Now you get the coupons. What the fuck? Are you making more money by not giving players decent login rewards? Nobody cares to log in for these calendars anymore. There used to be a specific group of people that would log in every day for the monthly calendar. I stream this game. I don't even log in every day for the calendar. There's no reason. That's a problem. When this game is my job and I don't log in every day because the calendar is not that great, that's a problem. What new player is going to see any of those items and say, ooh, I have to log in today? Consider making a new player login thing. You logged in 7 different days. Here, you finally get a new character slot, new player. Give them something. Give them a skin. Say, here's a skin for the wizard, the only class you have. Give them something. I don't know. I know there's new packs. There's new player packs for what, 500 gold. You cannot ask a person to spend money on the game that has not yet seen what your game has to offer. No. You need to give them free shit. Every MMO is giving people free shit for logging in. Realm is giving us crumbs for logging in. It's cringe.
To put it very simply, if your game doesn't care about new players, why should new players care about your game? Then I do some more grinding and this random gold dragon spawns.
Bro, if your game doesn't care about new players, why should new players care about your game? That's poetry. This guy's a fucking poet. That's crazy. He deserves 400k. He deserves 450k subs. If anybody's mad at this guy for anything he said here, check yourself. He's speaking facts, man. He's played this game for 20 hours and he's speaking more facts than we are on all our copium. A lot of the things he said are things that I've been thinking of this whole time. If you look at my Deca partner interview, let me just try to pull that up right now. This is from December 9th, 2021. How do you see the game in 10 years? It has so much potential it hurts. We love the game, and as a community, we want to see it reach its true potential. I believe the first step to making this is making it more accessible and enjoyable to new players. Once that has happened, advertising the game, it could cause the blow up it deserves and warrants. You guys have made some great content and improvements to Realm, but there's work to be done. Veteran-centric development is good for pleasing our old heads. Will not cause new players to stick around. That isn't to say that you should forget about us, but the new player experience being streamlined, educated, and exciting will be much better for the game than appeasing us. Bruh. It's almost like this man is speaking facts. This is, you know, when I did this Deca Partner interview, right? That was my way of attempting, and his lovely duck. That was my way of attempting to make the game better, right? I figured that was the one place I could say something and everybody would see it. I even said more about the new player experience. I think it's incredibly important to change the early game experience to be more informative, exciting, and streamlined. New players need to be made aware of stat pots, the importance of maxing, and the value of feeding pets. This is... bro, this guy doesn't even really know about maxing that much. He mentioned it, right? But imagine how much more his video would be molding if he knew that getting 8-8 takes so long. And if he knew that you have to be 8-8 to get exalts and to really enjoy yourself. Imagine, dude. He would be livid. He would be flipping shit. He would burn the game down, right? Why don't we? If the game itself showed some of its depth, new players would be more inclined to stick around. Alright, I'll mold if I do this. Let's save this for another day. Let's save this for another day.
In at the end of a very easy pirate dungeon, and I spend about 10 minutes trying to solo it. This is way too hard for a level 3 knight. So after reading the feedback and getting a few classes to level 20, dying more times than I can remember, running more dungeons, and seeing more, I feel Realm of the Mad God is a good system of mechanics, poorly explained. The new player experience is far too obtuse. The endgame system favours the already powerful, and the excessive monetization shows they've focused on draining the current player base instead of attracting a new one. The dungeon variety, though, is top-notch, with a huge assortment of themes and styles, from snake pits to mystical forests, sci-fi future lands, colourful moving platforms, and even some psychedelic dungeons which switch the sprites around for everything. It's a fun experience, but it feels neglected.
Guys, I'm going to end it here. Man, be on the lookout for a video called How to Enhance the New Player Experience, because it kills me. It breaks my heart every time that this game is about to get exposure, right? Nothing happens from it because it's such a bad early game experience. It's so fucking bad. It's unacceptable. It needs to change right now. Let's mold about it. Go to Reddit, boys. Be angry. You should be angry. These are things that have needed to happen for years. What are they waiting for? Programmer, wake up. I know it's hard work. Look, I know. Don't say baby smooth. It's hard. It's hard. No. You don't believe in this game if you don't believe in the new player experience. And if you don't believe in this game, why should any of us? Wait, I think that guy said that actually. Oh, fuck.